before or after?
So there's two different types of stretching. There's dynamic and static. And I learned this the hard way because 7 years ago, I was finished football, but I still want to do something. So I played flag football, right? And I went in the gym in the morning. I trained legs and I was like, okay, I don't want to be tight for the game. So I was stretching out. I stretched out my calves. So I went on a ledge and just stretched my calves out, held it there for 2 minutes. So when you're holding a certain pose and you're doing a static stretch and you're not moving, that's bad before.
So to explain to people what's that, because some people are probably just trying to get into fitness for the very first
static
time.
Stretching. So if I was trying to stretch my chest out, it's like moving my hand back to a certain fixed position and holding that stretch position, not moving for extended period of time, whether it be 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So when you're actually doing an exercise like a pec fly, it reduces the amount of elasticity you have in your pec when you hold in that static stretch. So you don't want to do that before because it actually weakens the muscle. Okay. And it's a more risk for injury static. It's always good to do it post-workout when there's a lot of blood in there, you're warmed up, everything's moving. A dynamic stretch is like you going in that fixed position as far as you can and then coming back in and contracting it. So you're more moving that range of motion. Like if I'm sitting in front of a computer all day for 8 hours a day, I always preach people, put your body in positions it's not normally accustomed to. So if you're like this, you're normally comfortable with that. So anything you do, you want to be in that position. So roll your shoulders back, bring your shoulders down. Even when you're on your stomach and doing those arm circles too is and that's the thing is when should I do it? How often should I do it? What should I do? And I show people a plethora of different options. And there's certain girls that their hips are super loose. I do a glute stretch. You don't feel nothing. They could talk, have a cup of tea. So I'm like, okay, you don't need to focus on that. Someone like yourself where it's hips are really tight. Okay, I'm going to dedicate more time when you do your homework. If you're really good at calculus, history, you're getting 85%, 90%. You're not going to focus all your weekend. If you're shit at English, okay, I'm going to focus a little bit more on that, right? And how often you should do it. If you did your mobility 15 to 20 minutes every single day and you told your teacher you did your homework like you were supposed to, you actually did, then you'd need to come once a month, once every 2 months because you can do it yourself, right? Yeah. But most people don't.
If you're behind now.
Exactly.
You got to put those hours in and catch back up to get back to normal. I feel like that's where I'm at right now when it comes to, because I feel, first of all, I was doing a lot. I think it's the static stretching a lot. Yeah. And fuck, I don't know. I was a person that never really stretched. You're younger.
No one dedicates the time. And that's why I create that content to kind of explain to what it is. Because most people, because I offer massage therapy as well as fascia, but most people do you want to do a session of stretching or massage or both? Most people opt for the massage. Right? Because they just want to sit there and do nothing, right? As opposed to the FST is look, I'm stretching. Why am I going to pay you $70 to stretch me, right? They do a session and I'm pulling their legs over. The expression on their face is whoa. Santa Claus isn't real. You know what I mean? And another thing too is for my business, I just need, and same thing if I was a chef, if you were that food looks fucking awful, I'm take a bite. You're holy shit. And same thing with FST, one thing's on my mind too was going to a golf course, right? How often do you think guys are restricted in terms of rotation or flexion? And if they got boatloads of money, if Carl and Bob are playing golf and now Bob beats Carl because his score is better, he's hey, what are you doing? You're doing something that you're beating me. Yeah, Dave's stretching me out before a session, so now I'm hitting the ball 20 yards further, right? And the moment they have that moment is okay, I need to do it. I need to beat him. You know what I mean? So just getting as soon as I haven't had many clients that had a demo or experienced it and they're it's not really for me. I didn't really see a benefit or relief or anything like that.
What's the biggest mistakes lifters make when it comes to mobility?
Not doing it. But that whole example of stick to more dynamic stretching and then static after. But the same thing is when you're doing dynamic stretching, have intention. Don't just go through the motions of I'm doing arm circles and and those different cues. And when you hire me as a personal trainer and I'm showing you those different cues and I'm telling you, keep your shoulder blades back and down, keep your face close to the ground, all these little cues that make it harder. And I always tell people in their training, they have a devil and an angel on their shoulder, right? And when the heat's not turned up in the kitchen, I tell you there's certain cues during an exercise and the angel's telling you, yeah, you got 10 reps, you can do it. I agree, yes. Rep 3, rep 4, you're like, I'm good, it's not bad. Rep 5, 6, you're like, okay, shit's getting turned up in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And now you want to speed up the reps because you want it over with.
Yes.
I want you to treat the first rep as the 10th rep, right? Yeah. And as the heat gets turned up in the kitchen, don't let that devil's voice get louder telling you to roll your shoulders forward, like dump your shoulders like down and not use your posture and your mid back. It's like, I want to listen to the other guy. And that's the thing about training or intention or mobility is like have intention. Like when you're doing your stretching, like if I was telling you and I passed you 30-pound dumbbells to do like a chest press, that's easy. Like you're just going to go through the motion. There's no intention. But if I give you 100-pound, oh fuck, this is heavy. I got to posture up. Exactly.
Like the 100.
But don't go to a failure. But all those intentions, it's like when your dad came, it was just like, hey, come here.
Yeah.
And you would like posture up and your chest was tall and you'd stand up. Like have that intention when you're doing the set, right? Mm-hmm. As opposed to just going through the motions, because then you get to 100, you're like, fuck, this bitch is heavy. Like, and you can't get in that certain range of motion or like you feel uncomfortable. So like, I want to like progress slowly, like 30 pounds, go on the furthest range, be comfortable, have a sip of coffee, chill, relax. So like when I do the 100, when I get there, it's not a knee jerk reaction of like, fuck, this hurts, I need to push it out. Because that moment happens, you lose those cues of that internal rotation, that shoulder down. So like in terms of training mobility, I would just say have those.